Good morning. This is Elisa, and welcome to Organizing Your Digital Self. This is episode one, and this is the only episode that we'll be sending out college-wide, so make sure you have signed up if you want to receive these short help tips on how to manage your digital life. So I want to start out with one that many of you have probably already heard, my inbox. And if I have more than 5 to 10 emails in my inbox at any given time, I'm seriously in a world of stress. So I'm going to talk today about this concept of inbox zero. And the idea was developed by Merlin Mann back in 2007. And basically, he says that you should not be checking your email on a regular basis, like all day long, meaning like every time an email pops up, you're in there dealing with it. He says the best way to do it is to check your email 3 to 5 times throughout the day. And you schedule those times as a task item. So at 10 o'clock every day, you're going to check your email and you're going to deal with the email in your box. And he says that if you do this, then you probably can respond to everything you need to respond to within 20 minutes versus, it's spending all day long dealing with email. So the idea is that any email that's in your inbox, you're going to do one of these 5 things. You're going to either delete, delegate, respond, defer, or do. So when you open up an email, you have to do one of these 5 things immediately. What many of us do is we open up the email, we read it, we think about what we're going to say, and then we move on. And then we've wasted that time, whereas if we had just either deleted, delegated, responded, or deferred, or did something right away, it would be done and over with. But instead, we're reading it, putting it away, and it's still in the inbox, and we have to come back and do the same thing again at some other time. And then your inbox ends up looking like mine, where there's 161 emails. That's pretty good, I know. I've seen some where people have 5,000 emails, and that would just, I don't know, send me over the edge. So I'm going to quickly show you a tip that you can do to help with this organizational strategy. The first is, how about eliminating some of the emails before they even get to your inbox? Now, it seems kind of bad that you'd want to do that, but think about it. In Maricopa, we get a lot of emails that really don't pertain to us and aren't really asking us to do anything but to read them. And so we have these DL lists that we get these emails sent to. So here you can see that I have a folder, and in that folder, I have all of the emails that come from Human Resources, the Maricopa News, Payroll Support, Governing Board Office, ITS Communication, Time and Labor. You all get these same emails. And when we click on them to open up, they're not asking for us to do anything. They just want to give us this information. Well, you don't need that to be in your inbox so that you have to deal with it right away. If you put it in a folder, you can deal with it maybe once a day or once every 2 or 3 days. I know that I make sure to read my announcements maybe 2 or 3 times a week only, and they're not in my inbox. So how did I get that to happen? First, you want to be able to create your folders, but you also want to be able to create what we call filters. So a filter will be able to recognize the email that comes in and then filter that email into the folder that you want it to be in. So let's talk about how we can do that. All right, so let's go to my inbox and let's find an email that I want to filter. All right, let's do one for Taika. So I'm going to open this up. When I hit the drop down menu here, you can see that there's an option to filter messages like this. Now it's going to automatically choose what the parameter is, but you need to decide what you want the parameter to be before you click this link. And so in this case, I want to filter based on the subject heading, Taika. So when I click filter messages like this, you can see that it automatically adds in this email address. And I don't want to filter out that person's email address. So what I'm going to do is instead, whenever I get the words Taika in the subject heading, I want to filter. Okay? Or you could do it by if it has certain words, but you have to be careful with that because many emails that you really don't want to filter might have those same words. And same thing, if it doesn't have this, you can filter it as well. So you can decide if it's to you only, if it's from a particular sender, if it has certain words in the subject, and so forth. All right, I'm going to go ahead and create a filter with this search. And then what happens is it pulls up all of the emails. So you can see behind that you can see all of the emails have Taika in the heading. And they have already been filtered because you can see I have this label. But I'm just going to pretend like it's not. And so what do I want to do? I want it to skip the inbox, and then I want to apply a label. So again, think of labels as folders, and you're going to choose the folder. Now, if you haven't already organized like I have here with folders, you can go ahead and choose a new label. And then you would type in that label. If you want it to fall underneath one of your other labels, for instance, if I have committees, and then underneath committees, I have the committees that I'm on, or that I was on. All right, so once you type in the label or choose the label, it will skip the inbox and go right into that label. Now, I don't recommend this, but you can also delete it. You can make it important. Okay, so it's not all about just taking things out of your inbox. You can also leave it in your inbox and then make it really important. All right, so once you have done that, you hit create your filter. If you want to include all the other emails in your inbox that match this conversation, you click that and then you click create your filter. So I already have a filter, so I'm not going to click that. And you can see now that all of these emails that start with Taika are already filtered into my English Division Taika West folder, or what we call label. So if I go here, click on English Division, and you can see that I have that Taika West folder. And it's the same folder here. So that's just one way to eliminate some of the emails that end up in your inbox. So when you go through the list and you start to, let's go back and look, delete, delegate, respond, defer, and do, all of these emails where they're not really asking you for do anything but read are not even in your inbox. And then you can choose when you're going to read them periodically throughout the day. Okay, so that's the first tip. I hope you find it helpful. And remember, sign up if you want to receive more of these.